an update on Kiké Hernández. So Kiké Hernández has been recovering from the elbow injury, and Kiké Hernández, we know, has mutual interest with the Dodgers. Both parties have reportedly made it pretty clear that they want some form of a reunion. And the question is, when will he be back? And he was on Adam Ottavino show, Baseball and Coffee, and he gave some details about it. He said, quote, they went in thinking it was going to be an extensor release. And when they went in, they realized I had torn that thing completely off the bone. So it turned out to be an extensor repair. I'll be out for like a month or two next year. So now we know when Kiké Hernández could return. Now, he did hurt that elbow late May. The numbers were down. The strikeouts were up. He was not the same guy. For the year, he hit 203, had 8 doubles, 10 home runs in 92 games. But after aggravating that elbow injury, after suffering it, he just was not the same player. But he was in the Dodgers lineup for all 17 of their games in the postseason. His double play in Game 6, where he's playing shallow, a little out of position. Dave Roberts told him to be there, and making that read on Barger and doubling up the Blue Jays with Miguel Rojas, that was pivotal. That was key. There's a world where they don't win the World Series without that play. So I still think that this puts them in a position where if he's out the first 2 months, that's almost the perfect scenario anyway, is you want to make sure that Kiké Hernández is back for the postseason. That's the only thing that you need, is to make sure that he gets enough time during the regular season to help you, whether that's put the pitching helmet on and pitching, whether that's just being a guy to be there for some of the young guys and help develop them. But this gives an opportunity for guys, the Alex Freelands of the world, whoever you may sign potentially that is in left field. If Dalton Rushing is going to get an opportunity in left field, if they're going to put Teoscar back there and Andy Paz in right and trade for another outfielder, this gives them an opportunity to get the lion's share of the plate appearances and the reps early on. So this does not change wanting to bring him back. If anything, I think it helps the Dodgers' cause, because had Kiké been healthy, had Kiké been great throughout the postseason, maybe at that point you're saying to yourself, hey, I want Kiké on my team on a multi-year deal if I'm another organization, because he's helped the Dodgers win twice. And maybe you overpay for Kiké just to get him off the Dodgers because he's got that secret sauce. Now I think that's less likely, and I think that ultimately you see a one-year deal done, something in the $6 to $6.5 million range, something close to spring training when you can open up that 60-day injury list. Mr. Keektober is going to be back for this team. You have to believe that. He's too important to the locker room, the clubhouse, the dugout. He's too important to just bringing that nasty it factor that he brings, where it could be a big play defensively. And the funny thing, too, is the Andy Paz catch in Game 7. Kiké Hernández had a 96% probability of making that catch. And instead, Paz, he collides with him and Kiké tumbles down. He didn't even want to look because he thought that the World Series was over and that Andy Paz didn't make that play. And then he gets up and he's smiling and laughing. He still was going to get there. And that kind of tells you about another defensive moment. It could have been a Willie Mays type of catch for Kiké Hernández, but this team is too close to doing something too special to not have one of the biggest glue guys, one of the best postseason players we've ever had. And also, he should retire as a Dodger. Because you're a Dodgers fan like me, you know there's nothing worse than gearing up for first pitch, and then there's a blackout restriction keeping you from watching the game you paid to see. Let's fix that with today's sponsor, NordVPN. A VPN is a virtual private network, meaning I can change my virtual location with just a few clicks. This masks my true IP address, making it appear that I'm anywhere in the world. NordVPN lets you change your virtual location with just one click, so no matter where you are while traveling to places that aren't available, you can access content from back home. Traveling, hey, this is perfect. Living outside the market, perfect. Or maybe your streaming service decides tonight is the night that you hit one of those annoying blackout messages. NordVPN fixes that. And look, it's not just for streaming. NordVPN keeps your connection secure, your data encrypted, and your online activity private. So whether you're watching highlights, checking stats, or arguing about the starting lineup online, you're protected. And of course, all the classic benefits of a VPN are at your disposal too. The NordVPN threat protection feature that protects you from viruses and malicious malware, and NordVPN account can be used on 10 devices too. So that's another great thing about this. Even better, you can try NordVPN risk-free thanks to their 30-day money-back guarantee, and you get the best discount off your NordVPN plan. Go to https://nordvpn.com/Dodgers. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. Again, there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box. That's nordvpn.com/Dodgers. Protect yourself online and make sure you never miss a Dodgers game again. Huge thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring today's episode. So shout out to our friends over at NordVPN. I mean, he's truly a Dodgers legend at this point. I want to see the Banana Man back with this team, and now we know when he can return. Missing the first couple of months of the season, signed to a 1-year deal. And Kiké also talked about on the show that he was on about the moment with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and when Yoshi said that losing is not an option, and how that fired up the group. Here was Kiké talking about Yoshi.
Bro, so like, I think he did 6 years over there. I think that's how it works here. The posting system, either 6 or 7, and he's got his 2 years here. He has won the championship more than half of his years in the big leagues, at the big league level, whether in Japan or in the US. The guy is a winner. He wins everywhere he goes. He won the WBC. Like, the guy is a winner.
Yeah.
And like that quote that just came down there by Carlos, losing is not an option. When he said that shit in the press conference, I was like, I had the goosebumps.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, oh, baby, talk dirty to me. I freaking love this shit, you know?
Awesome stuff from Kiké Hernández and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So we're getting Kiké back. I've heard that there's a really good chance that he's back. I mean, the Dodgers do have an opportunity to do whatever they want, and even if you're not happy with it, it's tough to question it. And if they wanted to get younger and they wanted to do something different as a role player, they could certainly go in a different direction. But they know what he brings, and they know that if October rolls around and the dugout's looking stale and no one's coming up making the big catch and making the big hit, they're going to look around, they're going to regret it. And I think that there's some signings where you regret them. There's some signings that you live with just because you say we can find that type of production from someone else. But there's a lot that Kiké brings that doesn't show up on a Baseball Reference page or a Baseball Savant page or the back of his baseball card. What he has, it's tough to pinpoint, but you know when you see it, you can feel it. And that's why I expect him to be back in Dodger Blue.